Today I'm going to walk you through the reverse lunge, and specifically I'm going to show you how to use the right technique to make sure not only you're using the most amount of muscle possible, but using the correct muscles throughout the entire movement, right? Because a lot of people, including coaches, do this movement with the goal of using as much muscle as possible, but because their form isn't where it needs to be, they're actually using muscles they shouldn't be using, which is negating a lot of the benefits of this exercise and could even be a little bit more dangerous, okay? So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to use perfect technique. I'm going to walk you through the perfect technique first, and afterwards I'll explain some of the most common mistakes we see at the reverse lunge. So I'm going to show you from the side first. Anytime you're doing the reverse lunge, whether you're doing it with a weight in front of you, by your sides, up here, whatever, the lower body movement is going to stay the same. So what's going to happen is all your weight is going to be in your front heel towards your midfoot, not in the toes, okay? So your weight is going to stay in your heel towards your midfoot, and you're starting from this position. You take a nice step back, drive through the heel to the midfoot, and step up, okay? Nice step back, and step back up. This is the reverse lunge. This is the very basic technique. And I'll show you from the front now. Step back and step up. Step back, step up. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the most common mistakes that I see with it, and then that'll help you understand the technique a little bit further. So make sure you listen very closely. Do not skip ahead. So first and foremost, a lot of people think that your knee should not be going in front of your toe, that this would be bad because the knee is in front of my toe. But first of all, we want to train the quads. A lot of people make the quads out to be an awful muscle group that we only should train the posterior chain. But if you think about sprinting or jumping or really anything athletic, you need to use your quads. I mean, look at sprinters. Their quads are huge. They're not neglecting them, I promise you. Same with bike riders. Their quads are huge. We want to strengthen them. It's important. We also want to strengthen back here too. But anyway, when you come down, it's totally fine for your knee to go in front of your toe as long as your heel doesn't come off the floor. If your heel's coming off the floor, then you're driving too much pressure through the front of your knee, and that's when it becomes an issue. But as long as you're pressing through your heel and it stays on the floor, this is totally fine, okay? So that's number one, is I actually want your knee to come forward a little bit. It doesn't have to be 3, 4, 5 inches in front of your toe, but just slightly, half an inch, 1 inch is totally fine, okay? That's the first mistake that people make. Second one, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take a really big step back, right? And they take that really big step back, and number one, you'll see the knee's going to be behind the toe, which is not a huge deal. But what will happen here is now that they took such a big step back, they have no other choice but to push off the back leg. And that is one of the biggest issues, because we don't want to push from the back leg. All of the weight and every set should be focused on the weight in the front foot, on strengthening the quads and the glutes in the front leg. So what you want to do is you don't want to take a tiny step, and you don't want to take a massive step. You want to take somewhere right in between, which is going to take a little bit of getting used to and practicing. Somewhere right in between, sink straight down, all the weight in the front leg, okay? You don't want any weight in the back. There will be some, but you want to consciously focus on putting weight in the front leg, driving through the heel, through the midfoot, not the toes, and standing up, okay? Now, the third common mistake that we're going to see, and that actually has a lot of relation to what I just spoke about with a really big step, is people stay too upright, okay? They think perfect technique, you have to be really tall and upright, but what that does is it almost forces you to put more weight in your back leg, and it's very difficult to use your abs properly, and it's very difficult to use your front leg properly as well. So when you come and you go into the reverse lunge, you actually want a slightly forward lean, just like this, right? So slightly forward lean, and that's going to help you get deeper into the squat, right? It's a squat, it's just on one leg. So it's going to help you get deeper into the squat, use more muscle, and help you keep more weight on the front foot so you get more bang for your buck out of the drill, okay? So just slight forward lean. Now, the final mistake, or one of the most common ones that we see, I'm going to do it facing you, is people let their knee cave inwards as they lunge. So just to show you, they come and their knee caves inward like this. That is actually very dangerous for the knee and can cause some serious issues. That's not to say you have to force your knee out like this and be bow-legged. All it means is as you lunge, pay attention and make sure your knee is tracking directly in line with your big toe. As long as it's staying in line with your big toe, you're fine. And as long as you're pressing through your heel and midfoot and your heel's staying on the floor, not coming up, okay? So that's the reverse lunge. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good day.